It is an eerie, cold night, and I'm about to go see a movie called Presence, which basically means I'm going to go see a film through the eyes of a ghost. I'm about to see what it's like to be a ghost. I'm all by myself again. Ah! I'm on my own again. What is it about me going to cinemas now and being all by myself? No one there. And it's a ghosty film, a scary one, all by myself. All by myself. So I'm back from the cinema, and again, I wasn't on my own. There was about 6 of us in there, and there was like 2 couples and a single person at the front there somewhere. So there was a few more of us in the cinema when the film started. But it does scare me because like cinemas nowadays, they're never busy. It's always so like desolate in a cinema now. It used to be you go on a Saturday night to a cinema, it's packed. Sometimes you didn't get a ticket. Sometimes you had to wait for the next showing. I've not had that for a very long time. You go to the cinema, you walk in there, and you're like seats everywhere. So it is a bit sad because I do worry about the future of cinemas. Anyway, The Presence. If you're looking for a film like Paranormal Activity or The Conjuring stuff, like a ghost film like that, where they jump scare you, where you crap your pants every 5 minutes, this is not that type of film. This film relies more on the story, the build-up. It's a very clever film. So this film, to give you hindsight, is very similar to like an episode of The Outer Limits or The Twilight Zone. It's got that feel to it, like a really creepy story. It's always done different. It's a very different film, and it did remind me a lot of, like, say, you normally see on The Outer Limits, The Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, that sort of thing. So the thing that makes this film stand out is what they told you sort of in the synopsises and stuff, that it is all done through the ghost's eyes. Now, I was wondering maybe it's like partly through the ghost's eyes, but no. The entire movie is shot through the eyes of the ghost that lives in the house, or the presence in the house. So it's good. I mean, when the film first started, when you first see sort of the eyes of the ghost, it's like a very early morning, and the ghost is sort of walking around the house. You sort of getting the layout of the whole house, and just sort of walking around. But you don't ever see the ghost, so it's just sort of just like this. You're seeing through the eyes. So if I got my phone camera and started walking around, you'd be seeing whatever the camera saw. So that was pretty good. I like that. But at the very beginning of it, it kind of made me feel a little bit motion sicknessy. Like that first opening shot where you walk around, I was thinking like, oh, I might get a bit sick during this, because I do suffer quite badly with motion sickness. And I've had it before on sort of like games and stuff where I get the point of view stuff. So I was like, oh, am I going to get a bit sick during this? And I kind of did get a bit worried about that. But as the film goes on, I forgot all about that, and I just got into the film. So the film, the rough story of the film is it's revolving around a family. They've just moved into this nice house. And it's a lovely house as well, but a real nice looking house. And the daughter has had a bit of a tragedy. One of her best friend has died from a drug overdose. So like the family a little bit worried about her, washing her drugs and stuff. She's traumatized like hell from this, obviously, as you would be. And it's a bit of a sad story at the start. So the character, you've got the daughter, she's like a teenage girl, probably in her latter teens. You've got her brother, who I would say is older than her, but I'm not 100% sure. You've got the mum and the dad. Lucy Liu plays the mum. The others, I've not really seen them anything. They might have been the same I've seen, but I don't recognise them. Except the girl, there's something about that girl that's very familiar. I think it's something my kids have watched, maybe on like Netflix, one of those Netflix teenager sort of shows. But yeah, so Lucy Liu's it. So both the kids are kind of mixed race. Like, I want to say Japanese. I'm sorry if I get it wrong, but I think Japanese and American, sort of white American. But they both look more Japanesey. But they say early on that he's definitely the dad of both of them. So it's not like a split home that's come together. It's literally a family that've gone through this tragedy. And you get little snippets about the other characters. So you find out that the son's like a good swimmer in school. He's definitely the mum's favourite of the 2 kids. The dad's obviously like leans towards his daughter a bit more, who's gone through this tragedy. And you've got the Lucy Liu characters. The mum is a bit more for the son. But you kind of get this weird little backstory that she might not be 100% kosher herself. So, as with the other video I did last time, I am going to hit spoilers, and when I hit the spoilers, I'm going to put up a little sign at the bottom. So you'll know that the spoilers are happening now. I'll also tell you I'm going to go into spoilers. But the feel of this film, as I say, it's not a jump scary film. It's quite an emotional film in parts. And as I was watching, I thought this film wouldn't be bad as like a gateway horror film for kids, like especially the younger sort of kids, teenagers. But then a scene happens later, and I'm like, oh no, they probably couldn't do that. If that scene wasn't in it, all the way through the film, it would have been a nice, like what they call a gateway horror film, sort of horror film you can show kids, and they'll be like, oh, okay, I get the sort of scariness and tension of it, but it still would have been really good to show kids, I think, except for the one scene that kind of like, part of another scene, but it kind of messes it up. And I said, when we get to spoilers, I'll talk more about that. But it's if you're kind of a nervous person and you like a little bit of something a tiny bit scary, it's probably one for you. But if you're looking for a scary film, this is not it. This is not a scary film at all. I didn't feel scared until a scene at the end. I did not feel scared. I did not jump once. But it was more, it's one of those things where you start watching and you want to know where it's going to go. You've got this kind of, where is this going? What is going to happen here? You get this sense that something is going to happen and you're kind of waiting for it, and you get kind of, what is this all about? And then the reveal at the end, it's a good reveal. So we're now going to get into spoilers. I hope what I've said so far. Oh, hang on. Let's talk about the acting. So the acting I thought was pretty good. And the reason I thought it was good was because the actors don't, like, when you get like a film being shot, you get like the guy talking here, they'll cut the camera and you get the guy talking there. Because it's done through the ghost's eyes, he gets like, say these are the characters, you see them all in one shot and they're all continuously talking, continuously acting. And some of these shots will go on for quite a while. It's like discussions being done and the characters have to stay like that. Now, if you've got like a standard film, it'll be this guy will talk and the camera will be facing him, and this guy might mess his lines up. Because this guy's done so good, they can cut that and put when this guy does good lines, and then they can put it together. You don't get that freedom with this film. It's all done like that. It's almost like a play in a way. There are cuts between, like, the ghost sees something, it'll go dark, then it'll see something else and it'll go dark. And that kind of didn't annoy me. It kind of like, I'd like to have flowed a bit more seamlessly, because the cuts were kind of obvious, like when it went from like this scene, this scene, this scene. I'd like to have flowed, but I think that would have messed up what was going on with the ghost point of view. I think something else. Yes, there are a lot of characters. There's a lot of mature themes in this film. And when I say that, when I get to spoilers, you understand why I say that. I can't talk about it now because it will kind of mess up what comes later for the viewers. So that's why I don't really talk about it. There's a lot of mature themes in this. As I said, as it gets on, that's why it wouldn't be good for kids to watch. Maybe if you've got like, I'd say 12 and above could watch this film, as long as there's one scene that's, as a parent, seeing with my kids, I'll be like, oh God, you'll probably work it out. But anyway, so that was a bit like, oh. But I was very pleased to watch this film, that's all I'm going to say. It is definitely worth a watch, just for the difference of the ghost point of view, because that was the thing that drew me to the film and wanted to see this film in the first place. And they give you that. They don't like cheap out and go, for this one scene, you'll see it from the ghost point of view. It's the entire movie. Yeah, acting's pretty decent. We know Lucy Liu's a good actress anyway. All the kids in it seem to be quite good actresses. The dad's quite good as well. Yeah, so everyone's pretty good in this. There's only another 3 or 4 characters after that, but generally a good film and a different film. It's a bit different. You want something different? Go watch this. So we're going to hit spoilers now. So I'm going to tell you, we're going to get this little thing up here in a minute, and we're definitely going to spoilers. And this is a film you're probably not going to want spoiled, because there's a big twist ending happening. So 3, 2, 1, and spoilers are now. Right, so we're now going to get into the spoilers territory. I'm going to try and go through this as if you haven't seen it, even though hopefully you have. That's why you've come back after you've watched the film. But I'm going to do that because I know some people like to watch the video even if they haven't seen it, and they'll get so far and think, oh, actually I want to go back a bit. That's what I'm going to do like this. So sorry if I'm like, because I've got a bit of sore throat at the minute, so I'll keep going, trying not to. So I'm not going to be sick. I've literally got a sore throat. I'm trying to clear it. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, so presents. So yes, the family in the house, and when the ghost starts to make itself known, make its presence known, it's quite clever, because basically the ghost is a neat freak in a way. So the girl's doing her homework and she's like working away. She's already had a moment where she's been asleep and she's woke up in the night and she feels like there's something there, because she thinks it's her friend. Basically, she thinks it's her dead friend who died of a drug overdose, and she thinks it's her that's the ghost in the house. So she wakes up and sort of senses there's something there and calls out to her friend. And then a little bit later on, she's doing her homework, goes to have a shower, and the ghost picks up all of her books and stacks them all up and sticks them on the table for her. And I thought, bloody good ghost, why can't I have a ghost like that in my house? It just ties up around me. I need that in my house. So the ghost is doing this like tidy up thing. She comes out, freaks out because she sees like stuff's moved and screams. Her dad then comes in the room quite awkwardly, as dad often do go in girls' rooms quite awkwardly. And he's like, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, I just saw a mouse. He's like, oh, great, new house, now I've got a mouse. So then he goes away and she's like, oh my God, like that moved by itself. She knows there's something not right. And then a little bit later on, she's like, she then has this guy comes over. So the brother brings back his friend to obviously come around his house after school. And the guy, as soon as you see him, you think he's a dick. There's something about the guy's face. I feel sorry for the actor because he's probably just a good actor, but he's got a face where you think you're a dick. Straight away, the haircut, the face, the way he was, you think you're a dick. And he kind of looks at the sister in a funny way. You think, oh no, he's not going to be like trying to come on to her later or something. You kind of get that vibe of him. So then you move on a bit more. And one day the friend comes back early, and the girl and the friend start getting a bit close and talking. And that she's obviously, I said, she's gone through some trauma, so she's not thinking rationally anyway. Decisions she's making probably aren't great, probably a bit out of character of herself. She invites him upstairs. They start to get a little bit kissy cuddly in the bedroom, and he's acting a bit weird, some of the stuff he's coming out with, but like she's getting a bit kissing cuddly with him. And then suddenly you see the ghost is obviously watching this because everything's seen again through the ghost's eyes, and he turns, goes to the wardrobe, and suddenly all the bookshelves just collapse. And the boyfriend jumps up, she jumps up, what the hell happened? And it's like, oh, obviously the pegs have fallen out of the wall. And it's kind of really like, oh my God, like, and he's kind of like, okay, well, things happen. They're looking like, oh my God, like she thinks it's the ghost of a friend that died because she's obsessed with the idea it's the ghost of a friend. Panics and that. Anyway, so then we move on a bit more. You find out that Lucy Lou's into some dodgy stuff. She's obviously some sort of like criminal somehow or other, because like obviously Lucy Lou's the mum, and you find out that she's something illegal's going on with her and her work. You see her deleting emails at some point, and you see some dodgy stuff going on. So you've got this little subplot there of something not right there, and as a family, the husband and wife are kind of strained a little bit because the wife definitely favours the son a lot more than the daughter. So she's kind of ignoring the daughter's going through this trauma and grief of a friend dying, where the dad's more sort of trying to protect the daughter and trying to get help, and he feels like the wife's kind of hitting a brick wall with the wife. And I thought that's a nice bit, not nice bit, but a good part of the story to kind of break from the ghost stuff. So the ghost watching everyone in the family, not just the daughter. So then, because it is centered around the daughter. So then the daughter one day sitting around the table says, look, has anyone noticed anything weird? I'm starting to sense presence. And of course the mum's like ignores it. The brother kind of takes the mickey out of her for it. So this is ridiculous. You've gone nuts and we all have to deal with it. He has a strop, bubbles off, goes upstairs. And then like the dad's like, okay, we'll talk to you more about it. The dad's trying to understand. He hasn't sensed anything, he hasn't felt it, but he's trying to understand the daughter. And he's trying to get counselling for her and stuff like that. So then they sort of leave that. Then you get when you start to see some dodgy stuff starting to go on with this friend of the brother. So the friend of the brother turns up at the house a bit early, meets the daughter in there. They go into the house. So I'm saying, I can't remember their names. The people, I think it might be Chloe, the daughter, maybe. But anyway, so they go into the room. The friend's there, and he's talking a bit weird. They're having a bit of she basically asks him to go upstairs, where they have a bit of a kiss and a cuddle. And when this happens, obviously, the ghost is watching and takes exception to the fact they're getting a bit kiss and cuddly, like it's starting to move on a bit further than that. And then suddenly the ghost turns to the shelves and brings all the shelves down in the wardrobe. So there's a little cupboard in the corner, and you just see the ghost turn from them, look at the cupboard, and suddenly all the shelves and shelving drops, and all the coat hangers fall down, just collapse like the inside of the wardrobe. Of course, them two jump up. Oh my God, what the hell was that? Panic, panic, panic. And she's like, oh my God, like she's like, okay. So she's freaking out. He just thinks the wardrobe's collapsed, whatever, it's normal. And they're going to try and do some more stuff later on. He says it's going to be all up to her. He's not going to pressure her to do anything she doesn't want to do, blah, blah, blah. And that's, you think, actually, maybe he's not such a dick. He's a nice guy. He's leaving it all up to her. So we move on a bit more. And the brother, they make mention earlier of the brother's got this idea to prank a girl at school. And the prank that they come up with is not very nice. You don't see any of the prank. It's all done through storytelling when the brothers relate it back to the mum later. So there's a girl at school that likes a guy. They pretend to be the guy, message her saying it's the guy, get a naughty picture of her sent to the guy she's supposed to like, and then they send it out to other people, as well as trick her into going to this place to meet up with what she believes is him, and they all jump out and laugh at her and make fun of her and upset her. So then, and that's a horrible thing to do. So as like the ghost is watching this story unfold, and then the sister says, look, he's posted a picture of this poor girl, like, the ghost then turns really quickly, runs up the stairs, goes into the brother's room and trashes the room. He pulls all of the trophies off the wall, slams stuff around. Of course, all the family hear this, go running up the stairs, and they see the stuff flying around the room for themselves. And the girls runs in the room like, oh my God, and they're like, oh my God. And next scene is they're all outside the house, hiding outside the house. Like, what is this? What the hell do we do? Sort of thing, I'm scared, I don't want to go, but the brother's like, I don't want to go back in there, she's terrifying, it's scary, I do not want to go in there. So now the family have seen the ghostly activities going on in the house. They believe the daughter, but they're weirded out by it. The mum's still kind of trying to sweep it all under the rug a little bit, and the brother's just kind of scared, but like, just, oh, what's the point of all this shit? So then the dad contacts the people that sold him the house. They then put him in touch with a medium. It's always like, it's like Poltergeist, the little medium shows up. It's that similar sort of thing. So the medium then comes to the house. And there's a real good bit when she first turns up, so I thought it was really good to prove that she's a real medium, not some fake bullcrap one. So as she comes to the door, the ghost steps forward. So obviously you're going forward like this to the woman. As the woman gets to about here, this is like gets to here, she goes, whoa, like that, steps back. So obviously she senses the ghost is right there, and then the ghost pulls back like, whoa, like that. And a couple of times, like the medium will be in the room, and she'll be like, chatting to the person. Then she's only just look like that towards the where the ghost is. She can sense there's something there, and that was good because they do it a couple of times with other people in the house, where they're trying to get a sense that somebody is there. And this happens a few times. I liked that. I like that little sort of like, well, you would get that. Like, what's that? Like, you look, could you feel there's something happening over there? Like, I've got a train just go past there because I have a train track at the back of my house. So like, I'll look that way because I feel something's going on over there. Because you're going to get a sense of or feeling or hear something from that direction. That was going on a lot, and I liked that. So, kind of give a bit more interactivity to you, the viewer, as well. Oh, sorry, I've got a bit of the flu coming on. I think I've know the flu's coming. I've got a presence of a flu. So now we've got like the build up to this now. So everyone knows there's ghosts in the house, and we know something's like not good. And then the medium, she's sort of in there. She puts her hand on the mirror. She mentions about Chloe first, and she's lost a friend. And the dad's like, I never told her about the friend. She mentions Chloe's middle name is Blue, and the dad said, well, I told her that. But then she says about she just lost a friend, and dad's like, I didn't tell her that. So that was a good bit. I like that bit. And then like you kind of get the sense this medium isn't lying. But then the husband of the medium obviously goes to dad's like, oh, after this happens, I need some money. Like we can. So the dad pays the medium. Obviously, that makes the wife think this is all bullshit because you've got to pay someone for this stuff. It's bullshit. So you get that. You can see the friction between the husband and wife and that, and then like the medium leaves, but just before she leaves, she touches the mirror and has like a bit of a freaky moment and sits down, and then disappears off, and then the medium leaves, and then you get like the daughters seeing this guy again, and this is the scene where like so basically this film would be a really good gateway horror film to watch with your kids, except for this one scene I'm about to talk about. It's a sex scene. So the daughter is now having sex with the brother's friend. And the ghost does a really weird thing. Now, actually, no, I've got to jump back a little bit to the medium again. So the medium mentions about like, she says that the spirit in this house is confused. And this is where my brain's like going, I've worked this film out now. So she said the spirit in the house is confused. It doesn't know what it's doing here. And it's like they don't see time like we do. So past, present, and future are kind of all just linked. And that's when I was like, this ghost is one of them family. This ghost, I was like, boom, this ghost is someone in that family. It's died and then come back from the past. And I was just like, that's what's going on here. And for the rest of the film, because I've got this theory in my head now, I'm going, is it you? Is it you? Is it you? So this is where I first make a mistake of who it is. So the sex scene's happening. So the daughter's on the bed with the guy and they're having sex. And the ghost does this thing where it kind of like they're having sex there, and it turns. It's inside the cupboard. It turns, and there's like a coat hanger, and it suddenly does that to the coat hanger, as if it's like in the coat hanger like that. So all you're seeing is, say this is the coat hanger, is you're just seeing like, sorry, just show you Michael Myers, but you're just seeing that for while this is all happening, the sex is happening, and it's like as if it's not comfortable. Then I'm like, the dad's the ghost. The daddy's going to die at the end of this film, and he comes back as the ghost. That's where I was like, phew, I was wrong. But that's what I thought was going to happen. And I was obsessed with this idea that I clocked this film early. So then, obviously, it's a bit uncomfortable. So then they do the deed. She goes and has a shower, and the guy goes downstairs and comes back up with 2 glasses of orange juice. And you see, and the ghost sort of follows him round, and he puts like a drug in the orange juice. And I was like, it can't be a date rape drug because he's just had sex with her. So why would he be putting that in there? So I was kind of weird. I was like, what is he doing that for? It didn't make no sense. So then the ghost obviously sees this. So as the girl comes out the shower, the boy picks up the non-drug drink and drinks that. And she goes to pick up the drug drink. Or she's going to pick up the drug drink. And suddenly the table shakes and the glass falls on the floor because the ghost has obviously stopped her from drinking it. Again, this ghost is a good ghost. That's why I'm like, it's got to be the dad. It's got to be. Now, it must be that in the future he dies, comes back. There, I'm still on that now because he's obviously saved the daughter again. And also then I thought back to the tidying up the books. Well, oh, Dad would do that. They'd tidy up a little bit. So then we're like, okay. So then the guy goes home, whatever, and they talk about how they're going to meet up again when the parents go away. And I'm thinking, there's going to be a plane crash or something. Maybe both the parents die. So just before the parents go away, the mum, Lucy Liu, comes in the room. And this is where my theory goes again. So the mum comes in the room and she starts tidying up around the room. And I was like the books earlier, oh my God, the mum's the ghost. It's not the dad. Maybe it's the mum. Then I thought maybe it's both of them. Maybe there's 2 there. So this is, again, my brain is going all over the place. I'm trying to break this film. I'm going to beat this film. I'm going to find out who it is at the end. And then we get a lot of that. We got a few more red herrings go along the way. So I'm still mindset is it's someone in the family. And then the dad's having a conversation with the brother, and he says to the brother, I want you to, and there's a good man in there, I want you to grow up a bit. I want to see this good man. I want you to start standing up for your sister. And I was like, is it now the brother? And now it's all of them except for the daughter. And at one point I actually thought it was the daughter as well. So I was like, it's got to be one of them. I know it has. So we move on a bit more, and you get this bit where the daughter's obviously out. I'm sorry, the mum and dad go away, they fly away. Something to do with some court thing. Again, you're only hearing snippets of this, but you know there's something to do with a court thing, so it's something to do with the mum. And the dad says, look, I've decided I'm going to stay no matter what. I'll see this with you. Please show me how. And she's like, okay, we'll do it and we'll work together, because he's trying to keep everything secret from him. And I think he's finally just like, do you know what, show me, let me help you. And the mum takes that on as advice. And I thought that was really nice. So then they go off on their flight, wherever. So then you get the brother's sitting at home, that her friend turns up, his friend turns up, and he drugs the brother to knock him out. So again, you're thinking, what is going on with this guy? Because he's obviously seen her. So what is this about? You're kind of weirded out by this guy anyway. It's this friend of her brother's who's sleeping with her at the same time. So you're very weirded out by this. So the brother's there, and he drinks this drink that's got drugs in it, and he gets knocked out. And he's out cold. So then the guy goes upstairs. And this is where it gets a bit weird. So he goes upstairs to the girl. She's like, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't want to do this. I'm not in a mental place for this. I'm not ready for this. I can't do this. And he starts acting really weird again, going about how, he's so stupid. He starts berating himself. I'm so stupid. I'm worthless. I'm useless. And she's like, no, it's all right. It's all right. Don't worry. So she takes a drink off him, and he's obviously laced that as well, and drinks it. And you're like, shit, now she's drunk something, she's going to pass out. And at first you think, is it going to be a date rape thing? So she passes out. Well, she doesn't pass. She starts to get a bit drowsy, a bit sleepy. He lays her down on the bed and starts talking, starts stroking her hair. And he starts talking. And as he starts gently talking to her, she's starting to fall asleep. He starts saying that he actually killed her friend and the other girl that they mentioned died earlier, that he killed them. And he made it look like a drug overdose, which is what the drug was in the drink, and that's what he was trying to do. And I was like, bloody hell, where's this come from? And then it's like, he's basically confessed to what he's done. He's done it because he wanted to get control back, because everyone's out to get him. He's a proper fucking nut by the end of it, proper psycho nut. And he's doing this, and he's got a bit of cling film. And he's talking about the thickness of the cling film, and he lays it over her face. Obviously, as she sucks in and breathes in, it sort of sticks to her as cling film does. Right, it sticks to her as cling film does, and she can't breathe. And he takes it off, he puts it back on again, and the ghost is trying to wake her up. So the ghost is now like doing this really buzz thing, and it's not working. So then the ghost bolts down the stairs, goes to where the brother's asleep, and starts like flicking the lights like crazy, and it's like making noises at the brother, like boof, boof, at the brother, and then it goes to its ear, and it sort of does something. It's in the brother suddenly wakes up, what the hell? And he sees all the lights going mental, and he's like, Christ, my sister. Runs up the stairs. Now, I'm going to go back a bit now, because I completely forgot a really important part. So, as the film plays on, just after the medium's been, there's a little bit of a break from her, and then she comes back for a very short scene where she's outside with the dad, and the ghost looking down out of the window at the dad outside by his car, and the medium's there, and she's going, look, I know this is real now. I've had a dream. It's to do with the broken window that's not open. Something bad's going to happen. So then you get that sense of dread later on. But you kind of forget about it because you're moving on. So anyway, the brother goes run upstairs, and this is where this is really important. Brother goes run upstairs, sees the guy and his sister, goes, get off my sister, has a bit of tough with him, and they both fall out of the window. Like smash through the window, fall down, boom. And I was like, it's the fucking brother. So I shouldn't have sworn. It's the brother. I was like, oh my God, it's the brother. And I was just like, that is mental. It's the brother. And then you just see him on the floor. You see the psycho friend on the floor who's dead, who we now find is the murderer. They're both just laying on the floor. But you don't really see what's happened to her. So I'm hoping she's still down there because she'd be dead as well. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So they're both lying on the floor, and then it goes black again. And then we get a point of view, and the sister is in the room again. And she's like, the room's bare. They're obviously moving out. And she's in the cupboard sorting things out. And the ghost is in the cupboard looking at her through the cupboard. She's getting things. And the ghost follows her sort of down the stairs. And the mum is by the window, just staring out the window, like looking. And the daughter says to her, like, let's go, mum, come on, let's go. And you can see the dad through the window in the car, sort of packing the car up. The whole house has been cleared out. It's like completely empty now of furniture and such. And she's like, I just need a minute. And then she sort of like, you see her walk. Daughter leaves and she sort of walks. She walks up to the mirror that the psychic touched earlier. And this bit gave me chills because I already worked out it was the brother, but they do such a clever thing. And it kind of made me jump and gave me chills. It's giving me chills now, actually, think about it. Getting the old the hair in the back of the neck stand up a little bit. So as Lucy Lou looks in the mirror, the mum looks in the mirror, you see the brother's face just next to her. And she goes, ah, and she obviously sees it, touches the mirror, same place the psychic did, and has this, ah, starts breaking and crying. And she's like, he came back for you. He came back to save you. And she's crying her eyes out, and the mum comes running, dad comes running, they hold him nicely. And they hold him, she's like, he came back to save you. She's crying her eyes out. And then you see and this bit, it's proper, like almost maybe a bit emotional, because you see the sort of ghost sort of going backwards, and he's walking out, and you see him sort of get to the front door, and he walks out, he sort of goes backwards out of the door, and then just goes up, as if like he's done the thing he had to do to go to heaven, or whatever you want to believe. And it kind of links back, because earlier was a discussion with the dad and the daughter about religion and stuff, and it was like, oh, they're saying it's like he's now going to heaven. He's saved his sister. The point was he had to go back to save his sister, and that was his kind of like to get into heaven, because obviously he'd done some nasty stuff. Maybe I don't know. Should believe in heaven and hell. I don't know. Maybe looking too deep into it, but it's literally him. He does the thing he's supposed to do, and then he leaves. So the reason he's there is to save his sister, and I thought that was such a good ending, such a good story. And yes, it probably could have been done a bit better. And as I said, it's very much like a Twilight Zone episode, or a Outer Limits episode. That's what it had that feel of, like a contained episode. And I do wonder if maybe it was originally written as that, like just an episode of something, like one of these anthology series. But it was a good film. I mean, I come out feeling a bit emotional at the end of it. I said there's that one little moment for me. The rest of the film, no jump scares at all. I thought this would be a jump scare movie. I was getting ready for that. Not at all. It's a story about his family, the tragedy, and they just happen to have a ghost in the house, and you happen to be seeing it as the ghost. And I was like, this is a decent little film for a January film. Usually January films are like the crappy films they just chuck out. Oh, Chucky Jones, no one's going to go watch it. And from the cinema, no one did really go watch it. But I'd like to know what other people think of it. So I liked it. but then I used to like those Outer Limits things as well. So I said, just remind me of those TV shows. The acting was pretty good in it. I believe the father's portrayal, because I'm a father myself, so I understand him trying to protect his daughter. I'm very protective of my daughters, always will be, and obviously mum's always mummy's boys and dads have daddy's girls. So there's a lot of that going on, and I recognise those elements. I thought that was fantastic. But it's definitely worth going to watch. So I hope if you haven't watched already, you haven't got this far and been spoiled to the ending, because I liked that I was working it out. That was part of the reason I liked this film, is because I liked trying to work out what this ghost was. Because as soon as that psychic said it's something from the past and it's all out of time, like a ghost can be something from the past, all out of time, could be from the future. And I was like, I knew it was one of them. I knew it was going to be one of those people, and it was one of them trying to protect that daughter. I even at one point, I thought it was her. Maybe it was her, she dies, and then she comes back. I don't know. But it was that I know it's one of them, and I was trying to work out which one. And I thought it was every single one of them until that bit where I said that the dad had mentioned to the brother, like, you need to start sticking up for him, or you need to, like, be there for him more. And then it was like, oh, maybe it's the thing. But most of it, I thought dad. I thought it was going to be the dad. When they said they were going on a trip, I thought, is there going to be a plane crash? Is there going to be a thing? It's an illegal thing. Maybe he's going to get shot or something. I had a thing about it. That's where I thought it was going to go. But I'm kind of glad it didn't, because that scene at the end with the mum breaking down, and you see the ghost reflection for the first time in that mirror, and it's like, and he's not got a smile. He's just behind her, just like. And she's kind of like, say my hand's her at the mirror looking there, and you just sort of see him, I suppose, like that, just behind her. And that's when she sees him and she breaks down and grabs the mirror and like, and oh my God. Yeah, it's got an emotional side to it. So it's not, as I said, if you know someone who's scared of horror films and stuff, they will be okay to watch this. If they want a good thriller, a bit of heart, and there's a lot of heart in this movie, then this would be a good one for them, for like thrillers and stuff. This is definitely not a horror movie. So please don't go into this thinking it's a horror movie. And I hope you weren't disappointed that it wasn't a horror movie. To me, I mean, it's creepy, a little bit creepy, but it's definitely not horror, because it's not out to scare you. It's out to make you think and make you feel. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little chat about this film. And again, your thoughts and feelings, please put them in the messages. We'll have a little chat about them in the messages. I love talking to people in the messages and stuff. And if you did like this video, like and share it and subscribe it and all that, because my kids are desperate for us to get 500, because they think if we get to 500 subscribers, we're special. I don't know why. And the fact that, like I said in one of the previous videos, that I got recognised the other day from the videos that I do, they now think we're famous. They think we're like Logan Paul or something, I don't know. But anyway, guys, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon for my next review. I have no idea what it's going to be, but there we go. See you later. Bye.